1 year ago on October 7, 2023, a coordinated attack by Hamas and other Palestinian resistance groups launched thousands of rockets into Israel. This marked the largest escalation in violence in years, resulting in thousands of airstrikes from the Israeli military. The year that followed would see over 41,000 Palestinians dead, with more than 96,000 injured and over 2.3 million displaced. Some have described the displacement as the second Nakba, but this was not a sudden outbreak. The roots of this conflict run deep. For over 15 years, Gaza has been under Israeli blockade, restricting access to essential goods, electricity, and medical supplies. This blockade, described as a form of collective punishment by international observers, has left Gaza's 2 million residents trapped in what many call the world's largest open-air prison. For Hamas, the war was an attempt to break free from the years of suffocating siege. The immediate trigger of this conflict came from growing tensions around the al-Aqsa Mosque in East Jerusalem, a sacred site both for Muslims and Jews. Clashes between Israeli police and Palestinians during Ramadan in 2023 inflamed the situation. Israeli settlers, encouraged by the right-wing political leaders, continued to expand their settlements in the West Bank. For many Palestinians, the uprising was also a protest against the relentless occupation and the systematic displacement of their people. But the price of resistance was devastating. By the end of the first month, over 6,000 Palestinians had been killed by Israel, more than 40% of them children. Entire families were wiped out as Israeli bombs targeted residential buildings, schools, and hospitals, claiming that they were used as military bases by Hamas. In addition to targeting Gaza, Israel escalated its assaults on regional actors. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Tehran on July 31, 2024. And Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah was killed in an airstrike on September 2024. Some analysts have also linked the death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi to covert Israeli operations. While military and political leaders were targeted, Palestinian journalists also paid a heavy price. Over the past year, at least 185 Palestinian journalists have been killed in Gaza during Israel's onslaught. Many of them were on the front lines, documenting the horrors of the war and risking their lives to tell the world what was happening. Israel's war on Gaza sparked global protests, advocating for Palestinian rights and for calls for an end to the violence. People around the world demanded justice for those affected in Gaza. For many Palestinians, this war was not just about rockets and airstrikes. It was about resisting decades of occupation, asserting their right to exist, and defending their homeland. As Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish put it, enemies might triumph over Gaza. They might break its bones. They might implant tanks on the insides of its children and women. They might throw it into sea, sand, or blood, but it will not repeat lies and say yes to the invaders. It will continue to explode. It's neither death nor suicide. It's Gaza's way of declaring that it deserves to live. It will continue to explode. It's neither death nor suicide. It's Gaza's way of declaring that it deserves to live.